Mr. Trump was criminally convicted. Republicans are outraged.
It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. We have a country that's in big trouble, but this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson and Republican lawmakers on May 30 sharply criticized the criminal conviction of former President Donald Trump by a New York court. On May 30, a court in New York City convicted former President Donald Trump, the Republican presidential candidate for the 2024 election. At the end of a 7-week trial, a 12-member jury declared Mr. Trump guilty on all 34 counts in the case of falsifying business records to pay hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. The sentencing is scheduled for July 11. With this verdict, Mr. Trump has become the first former president in U.S. history to be criminally convicted. Speaking immediately after Mr. Trump was convicted, U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson, an ally of Mr. Trump, said, "Today is a shameful day in American history." The Democrats cheered as they convicted the leader of the opposing party on absurd charges, based on the testimony of a convicted felon who has been disbarred. "This is a completely politically motivated and unlawful verdict," Mr. Johnson added. The weaponization of America's justice system has reached new heights in the Biden presidency. Today's decision once again shows that the Democratic Party is willing to do anything to silence and crush political opponents. According to the U.S. House Speaker, the American people understand that this verdict is wrong and dangerous. Mr. Trump will appeal this absurd verdict, and he will prevail, Mr. Johnson added. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, the number 4 figure in the Republican Party in the House of Representatives, said the shocking verdict demonstrates how the weaponized justice system has become corrupt, fraudulent, and unorthodox under President Biden and the Democratic Party. This lawsuit was initiated by a corrupt prosecutor under the political orders of Mr. Biden, in a desperate attempt to salvage the failing Democratic Party election campaign, Ms. Stefanik said. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, another ally of Mr. Trump, called this verdict a mockery of justice. The Manhattan Court, New York, has shown what happens when the American justice system is weaponized by ideologically driven prosecutors. This lawsuit aimed to remove Mr. Trump from the election and distract from the failed policies of Mr. Biden, Mr. Jordan said. Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis stated that Mr. Trump receiving an unfavorable verdict in New York, one of the strongholds of the Democratic Party, was something that had been predicted. Democratic Party is using the American justice system as a weapon to intervene and prevent former President Donald Trump from being re-elected in the upcoming election, Ms. Maliotakis said. Meanwhile, the Democratic Party celebrated the court's verdict, claiming that justice has been served. Democratic Party Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, "Mr. Trump has committed all of the 34 charges. No one is above the law." Mr. Biden's campaign team also expressed a similar sentiment. Mr. Trump was wrong to think that he would never be held accountable for his illegal actions. Mr. Biden's campaign team stated, "In New York today, we have seen that no one is above the law."